How you doing, ladies?
Good, how are you?
Doing all right? You got time for a short interview? Cool. A little out of breath?
Yeah.
All right. So let me kind of give you an idea of what I'm doing out here. So I have a hobby where I come out to the park and I just interview random people.
Okay.
And I start off with a couple of thought exercises, and then from there we'll pick a belief, and you get to pick that, whatever it is. You pick a belief that you really think is true, and then I'll ask Socratic questions to understand what you believe, why you believe it, and how you concluded that it's true.
Okay.
So it usually is like 10, 15 minutes, but it can go in longer or shorter, just depending. I just try to time it to respect your time.
Okay.
But it's a little challenging with two people though, because you guys, your answers will will affect each other,
Okay.
and then I don't necessarily want that. I want to kind of uncover one. Does that make sense?
Okay, yeah.
Okay. I mean, I could do it if it was like a shared belief, but okay. Second question: are you okay if I record it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. What was your name?
Katie?
Katie?
Yes.
Eddie. It's
That's
okay.
me.
They're all every hand I shake is like most likely sweaty. You said Katie?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So I want to start off with the thought exercise. There's a couple of them. So the first one is I'm going to give you 3 claims, and you just tell me how confident you are that they're true on a 0 to 100% scale. So 0 meaning I have no confidence that it's true. I don't believe it at all. 100% meaning I cannot be mistaken. That is correct.
Okay.
Okay. So the first claim is I own a car. Second one is I own a Ferrari. And the third one is I own a space shuttle. Where would you find yourself on confidence scale on those claims?
Are these claims on you?
Yes.
Okay.
Me personally.
I would say 100. You own a car.
Okay.
The first one. Second one. I'm gonna give you 0.
0. Okay.
And then 0 on the space shuttle.
0 on space shuttle. Okay. So it seems like the first one was kind of a no-brainer. You're pretty sure.
What, do you own a Ferrari?
Ferrari was like
Yeah,
iffy.
maybe.
Okay. It was harder to determine, and then the space shuttle was no. Okay. So let's go with the Ferrari example. It's kind of in the middle of the road. What would it take for you to increase your confidence to, let's say, 20% that I own a Ferrari?
You probably wouldn't be out here doing this, honestly. You owned a Ferrari, you have quite a bit of money, and you probably wouldn't be interested in this kind of stuff.
Okay. So at this moment, since we're here, what would have to happen, or what would you have to see for you to be more confident? And maybe not 100%, maybe not 50, but like 20%.
I don't really know.
Can I give you an example?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's say I pull out of my pocket right now my keys, and there's a Ferrari key fob.
Okay, well then, yeah.
Would that raise your confidence?
Yeah.
How much?
Well, obviously you have it. Well, it could be a keychain. Probably to like 70.
70%?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go backwards.
Okay.
Let's say I did that and you saw the fob,
Uh-huh.
and let's assume I don't have a Ferrari.
Okay.
How would you be able to determine that? Not determine that, but what would else have to happen to lower your confidence?
To lower it,
Yeah, from...
the 70 down, you
If
pull
I-
it out.
What else would have to happen for you to be less confident?
Here, like maybe you have it here. If you don't have it, I would ask, like, do you have it here? And then if you don't,
Said no?
but
Then
it could be at your house.
Okay. So you're saying if I showed you a key fob, you'd get to 70%, but if
Yeah.
you asked where it was and I was like, I don't know where it is, you'd drop.
Yeah.
Okay. So what would get you to the 90 to 100% range?
If we like legit walked over to it and you like got in it, started it, and like took off.
Gotcha. Okay. Is there anything that would get you to 100%?
That would be enough. So you text me.
Meaning you cannot
Like,
be
Just
mistaken.
where I am.
Like it's your Ferrari. You're not just like driving it for the day. Like it's yours.
Right. What
Seeing
would
the paperwork.
paperwork? Okay.
Yeah.
So if you saw paperwork, you would be at the level of I cannot be mistaken about this.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Cool. Okay, so that was the first one. Second one's a little shorter.
Okay.
It involves some Tic Tacs.
Okay.
So, would you agree that the amount of Tic Tacs in this container is either even or odd, and it cannot be both?
I'm gonna go with even. I don't know why.
No. The question is, would you agree that it is either even or odd, and it cannot be both? Meaning,
Like
it's,
all packages are even, like not one is odd.
no, it is either. So it has to be even or odd,
Okay.
and it cannot be both. Would you agree that it can't be both?
Yeah, it can't be both.
So it could be even or it could be odd,
Uh-huh.
but it cannot be both. Gotcha. Okay. So let's say you guessed even and I guessed odd.
Okay.
And we popped it open, poured it all out, counted it up. Would you agree? Or I'm sorry, and then we counted it and it was actually 18. Would you agree that you are correct and I was mistaken?
Yes.
Okay. It's not a trick question. Okay. So, where would you put your confidence scale on your ability to guess without actually popping it open and looking at it? What would you say your confidence is that you can accurately guess whether it's even or odd from 0 to 100? How confident are you?
50.
So it's a 50-50?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If I were to say, if you are correct, I would give you $1. Would that affect your confidence? So let's say I gave you $200. Would that affect your confidence?
No.
Let's say if I give you $1 million, if you could accurately tell me what's in there, would that affect your confidence of your ability to guess?
No.
Okay. And would that work this in the opposite direction? So let's say if you guess incorrectly, I'm going to take all the money out of your bank account right now. Would that affect your confidence in your ability to guess?
Yes.
It will.
Yeah.
Okay. Why would consequences affect your confidence that whether you would be accurate?
Because it's affecting my life.
Okay. How does the consequence affect the truth of whether it's even or not? Sorry, I got something in my throat.
You're
You want me to ask it a different way?
good. Yeah.
Okay. So you're saying, let me read it back to you. You're saying that you're you would be less confident in your ability to guess because of consequences. If it had consequences, you would be less likely to guess whether it's even or odd.
Yeah.
Okay. So what I'm wanting to know is, how does oh man, sorry, I need some water. How does your how does your wow, this is infecting my interview. All right, might have to give me a minute.
You're fine.
It's a little dry out here. How does the consequence affect whether it's true or not? How does that relate?
Well, I guess it doesn't affect if it's true or not. It's just, it affects, like, it just puts more pressure on me to get the right answer.
Okay.
Like, it's still 50-50 for me.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So it'll affect the consequences or benefit, but it won't affect your ability
No.
to
Yeah.
guess. It'll still be
no.
50-50.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Hopefully I can continue. Okay. Moving on.
Okay.
Let's pick a belief that you really think is true, and it can be anything. So I can give you some examples. So a lot of times people will talk about karma. They believe karma is real and it's happening. Sometimes people like talk about prayer. They believe prayer works. I believe in a God. I believe my horoscope accurately predicts my day. I talked to a guy about aliens. I just talked to a guy about rehabilitation and how it works, his confidence in that. It could be really anything, but I think that the talks are more interesting if it's something that you're fairly certain is true,
Okay. Okay.
And let's say tomorrow you woke up and you didn't have that belief, it would affect your actions. So it's like a foundational belief, if that makes sense.
Well, then I believe in God.
Okay, you want to go with that?
Yeah.
All right. Sorry. What would you say your confidence is on that 0 to 100% scale that God exists?
100%.
100%. All right. What is the main reason that gets you to that 100%?
Knowing that he's real.
Mm-hmm.
It's my belief and my faith in him, trusting in him.
Okay. I'm going to repeat it back just to make sure I understand. You're saying the reason you're confident to a 100% degree is because you have faith that it's true.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Just want to make sure. And a lot of times people will use the word faith, and I don't want to misunderstand what you're saying. So do you have like a working definition? Like, what does having faith mean to you? Is there a definition?
Well, I mean, like, faith for me is like I completely, wholeheartedly believe that God's real and that, like, I live my life by him. That's my faith.
Okay, so faith
like
is...
belief.
Faith is the amount of conviction?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm going to repeat back just to make sure I understand. You're saying the reason you are 100% confident that God exists is because you have a conviction to the belief.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How does the conviction to a belief relate to whether the belief is true? Like, can someone have conviction in a belief and still be mistaken?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's their own belief.
So
I'm not saying that you have to believe in God.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I get what you're
That's
saying.
my belief.
Okay. So let's go back to the Tic Tac analogy. If I were to tell you that I'm 100% confident that it's even,
Okay.
and the way I know that it's the way I know that it's even is because I have conviction that it's true.
Okay.
And if someone else has convictions that it's odd, that's their belief.
Mm-hmm.
But my belief is that it's even. Do you think that is a reliable way to be 100% confident in the amount of Tic Tacs?
If you counted them, then yeah.
Okay. So, in relation to the God belief,
Mm-hmm.
why are you 100% confident?
Because it's my belief. Because I believe that there's a God.
Okay.
I can't prove, I can't sit here and prove there he is right there to you. But
Okay.
For me, that's 100%. For you, it could be 50 or it could be none. You might not believe.
Okay.
It's not something you can
Yeah.
hold and
pop open count?
Yeah.
So, I guess what I'm trying to understand is faith as a way to know something to be true, is that a reliable way to come to truth?
Yeah, I guess.
So if someone were to use faith that I had a Ferrari, would that be a way to know that I had a Ferrari?
No, but they could have faith and believe that you do.
Right, and would that be a reliable way to discover that it's true? Or to know that it's true? Would that be reliable?
I wouldn't say it's reliable, but it gives you hope that you do. I mean,
Okay. So, I'll wrap it up. There's a couple more questions. Would you say that you have more hope that God exists, or do you have more reliable ways to know?
I have more reliable ways.
Okay. And that way is faith?
Faith.
Okay. So if I were to convince you that faith may not be reliable, would that affect your confidence?
Maybe.
Maybe?
Are you gonna do that?
So, like, if someone walked up and said they're 100% confident that Vishnu is the true God, and they believe in many gods, they're Hindu,
Okay.
and they used faith as a method to know, how would we be able to determine which one of you is more correct?
Probably couldn't.
Okay.
I'm not saying like their belief is wrong, or that they believe 100% in whatever they believe.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying like I believe 100% in God,
Mm-hmm.
and that's my belief, and that's my faith.
Yeah, right.
So,
So, yeah, we can agree that everyone has the right to believe.
yes.
But as far as finding out a reliable way to determine which one of you is more correct, would you agree that you can't both be correct? They believe in many gods, and you believe in one, and it's different.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't say we're both correct.
So kind of like even and odd, either one or the other.
Yeah.
And if there's no way for us to determine which one of you is more correct, how can you be 100% that you cannot be mistaken about your belief?
Because I believe the word of the Bible.
Okay. So you're saying the Bible has a role to play?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe I should have led with that.
Yeah. So what's helping in that is that you have the Bible.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. So we're kind of going over, and I hope you're okay with staying. You just
No,
if you're
you're fine.
okay, gotcha. You just let me know because this is kind of longer than usual.
Okay.
Okay. But no, I'm good. I'll be here all day. So what is it about the Bible that helps you get to that 100% mark? So how does the Bible conclude, or is reliable in the sense that concludes that God exists? Like, how does the truth of whether God exists or not relate
It's a
to the
book of
Bible?
truth. It's like if you go to history class and they give you a history book and it gives you all these dates, you sit there and you believe it.
Okay.
Right? It's the same thing with the Bible.
Okay, so it's a historical document.
Yes.
So, hypothetically speaking, I'm not
Okay.
saying this is the case. Hypothetically, let's say that you researched the Bible or whatever, in some way you came to the understanding that is not historically accurate.
Okay.
Would that affect your confidence in that God exists?
No.
So what do you think is the foundational reason for your belief if it's not the Bible?
Well, it is the Bible, but I mean, I don't agree with everything that happened in it. Doesn't mean I'm gonna not believe in it.
Gotcha. Okay. So you're saying, I'll repeat it back to make sure I get it right. You're saying that whether or not it's historical does not affect the truth in it?
It's still true.
Or
just
the-
I
or
might
the
not
amount of
like
truth?
what happened.
Okay.
So it might, like the things some things that God did, I might not be like, I personally like that was hard and wouldn't have been like the best way to go about it, but doesn't mean I'm not gonna like.
Yeah. I'm not necessarily interested in like that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
but I'm wondering how you use that as a method to, so like for example, there's that hypothetical Hindu woman over here.
Okay.
If she had a book, a historical book that gave her a foundation for why she's 100% confident in her gods,
Mhm.
how would we be able to tell which one is more accurate? Or, you know what I mean? Like,
I guess you would.
is it a reliable, or is it a reliable way for her to be 100%
Yeah.
if she had a book?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So how can we be at a point where two people are 100% to the point where they believe they cannot be mistaken, but yet we don't have a way, but we agree that they can't both be correct,
Mhm.
and we don't have a way to determine which one is?
Then you let them live their life and I live my life. In my own beliefs.
Okay.
That's it?
Yeah, that's pretty much. I just wanted to understand.
Okay.
Cool. What did you guys think?
It was interesting. It was
Interesting?
fun. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right. Have a good day.
This interview was actually really fun. Apart from my serious case of dry throat, I think it went really well. There was a natural flow to it, and both parties were having a good time. The more I lead with the thought exercises, the more I see the effectiveness of doing so. Initially, I thought the faster I can get them out of the way, the better. But now it's more like they're a fun exercise which allows people to loosen up and put on their thinking caps. When we got to her belief, I was surprised she went straight to faith as the reason she's so confident. It's possible she had never been asked directly why she believed. If so, I'm glad it was asked in a cordial conversation like this. I think I ended at a good point. She had mentioned that she's not trying to convince anyone a couple of times. I think that was her way of saying, I don't want to go down that road. So I was happy to hit the brakes for her, which actually surprised her. I got the impression that these types of conversations were scary for her to talk about. My hope is that I not only gave her something to think about, but gave her an example of a not-so-scary talk. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to like and subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comments. However, do keep in mind, my conversation partners may view their video, so please be respectful.